In the past, watching Marvel movies used to be an event. They used to mean so much to us. Then after Endgame, everything changed. The movies no longer had that magical feeling aside from a few. The shows were sometimes a hit or miss. Audiences no longer cared about the MCU. With DC Studios putting out garbage as well, people were starting to get over the superhero genre. Fans, along with myself, were losing all the faith in the studio we once put up in the highest regard. But now, with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, is it safe to say that the MCU is saved? When we first heard of Deadpool transitioning over to Disney, there was definitely some concerns on how the new studio would handle this valuable IP. But now that we saw the movie, all doubts and questions answered. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman was amazing and electrifying throughout the whole movie. I'm glad the writing didn't pull back any punches. From Deadpool telling Wolverine, "Welcome to the MCU, you're joining at a little bit of a low point," and even Deadpool saying, "Suck it, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland." And even to the memorable scene of Wolverine telling Deadpool, "I wish I could say you'll die alone, but it's one of God's best jokes that you can't die, except that's on all of us." That scene was top tier. In terms of the story, it makes sense they went with the TVA route. They've been established since Loki. That's the only way they can explain Deadpool going from his universe to the MCU. Bringing Hugh Jackman back really completed this movie. The movie wouldn't be what it was without him. The emotional trauma his Wolverine variant carried, to the back and forth scenes with Deadpool, really made this movie perfect. I know people online will always find something wrong with anything, but given all the recent crap Marvel has put out recently, it's good to just go into a movie theater and have fun, not go into it and analyze every single detail to make sure it's lore appropriate. In terms of the cameos and Easter eggs, this movie was a love letter to the heroes of 20th Century Fox. We had Chris Evans return not as Captain America, but as Human Torch, Jennifer Garner as Elektra, the iconic Wesley Snipes as Blade, who jokingly, but not jokingly said, "There's only one Blade, there's only ever going to be one Blade," which might be true if we don't ever get the new one. Channing Tatum as Gambit, who finally got justice. He had some of the most funniest interactions with Deadpool. Daphne Keane as X-23 again, Blake Lively as Lady Pool, Matthew McConaughey as Cowboy Pool, Nathan Fillion as Headpool, Happy Hogan, Henry Cavill as a Wolverine variant, Hulk vs. Wolverine, comic accurate height Wolverine who was 5'3", Patch, Sabretooth, Pyro, Eliath, Fever Dream Wolverine, and Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, just to name a few cameos. These cameos were a perfect way to close the door on the 20th Century Fox era and begin the new Disney era. But I do wonder if we'll ever see these variants ever again moving forward. Over the weekend at Comic-Con, it was revealed that Robert Downey Jr. is making his return to the MCU, but this time as Dr. Doom. It's still not certain if he will play an Iron Man variant turned Doom, or if he's strictly Victor Von Doom. Just imagine if he is an Iron Man variant, and the reaction the rest of the Avengers will have seeing their beloved friend in a new light. I saw some theories online of what Doom would say to certain heroes. It would be iconic if he were to say some of these lines. Like, for example, "I hate you 3000 would be extra villainous. Or Peter recognizing Stark, but now Doom telling him, "I don't even know who you are." There's so many directions they can take Doom with RDJ and the Russo brothers. I have all the faith in the world in them. It's a shame that Kang Dynasty is no more. Kang had the potential to be the next big bad, similar to Thanos. But after Jonathan Majors was falsely accused, Marvel decided to drop him. Moving forward, I wonder how they will explain the absence of Kang if they do decide to address it. Will they simply recast Kang down the line and save his story for later? Or will Doom make his dominance known by traveling to the Council of Kings and eliminating every single one of his variants in epic fashion? Only time will tell. Hopefully Kang gets the justice he deserves. With the success of Deadpool and Wolverine and the glimpse of the future movies, Marvel has set a new standard for themselves. Moving forward, they have to deliver on every single movie. If not, then what's the point of keeping up with this universe at this point? Captain America Brave New World is looking promising. With the politics and the action we saw in the trailers, the feel of it kinda reminds me of Winter Soldier. And with the addition of Red Hulk, that's an added bonus. There's also rumors that Green Hulk will make an appearance as well. I mean, with all the other Hulk actors and references, how can he not show up? I know that the common consensus is everybody is hyped that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU, but I did see some reactions that some people weren't too happy. They see this as a desperation move by Marvel to try and clean up the mess they made, and they would have preferred a whole new actor playing Doom for at least a decade, rather than RDJ playing him for maybe 2 or 3 movies. I do see both sides. On one hand, we got the return of RDJ along with the Russo brothers, ready to save the MCU. But on the other hand, there are questions whether RDJ will be playing a Stark variant or Victor Von Doom, who just happens to look like Stark. For all we know, what if Doom never takes off his mask, and all we hear is RDJ's voice, and the heroes will never know it's him? I feel like that would really be a waste. I highly doubt that happens. The heroes of the MCU always take off their mask. Regardless if you've been keeping up with the MCU for a really long time or gave up on it after Endgame, we can agree that the future looks promising. Hopefully this universe can go back to what it was, with each movie being an event for audiences. Deadpool and Wolverine is a great step in the right direction, but in the grand scale, did it save the MCU? Only time will tell. I'll leave you with that, and as always, thanks for watching.